What's going on, everybody? It's Jamie here, back again with another video. Today we're doing a who to sign for this season coming up for Borussia Dortmund if Jason Sancho leaves, which is looking very likely and also looking like it's not going to happen. It's just seems to be up in the air. Like Man United are just playing around with the idea and not actually fulfilling it at the minute, which is very frustrating being a United fan. Obviously, Lucien Favre's team started off very well this season, with Bayern starting off poorly, but as the season got on, they've just declined in results. Not really work rate and effort, but just results. The start of the season when they came back from COVID, they battered Schalke in the derby, and then they went on to lose some stupid games, which ultimately ruined their chances of a title. And then obviously when they got lost to Bayern, thanks to some Kimmich brilliance, it was just all over. Obviously, you got a few players out of contract, like Mario Götze. Obviously, in this game, he's not, so I'm just going to sell him. And ironically, Bayern came back in for him because he used to play for him from Dortmund. So it's deja vu, really. And I thought, you know what, just get him off the books. Nice bit of money. Doesn't really play. I'll try and find a replacement for him later on in the video. But it's just one of those things. Obviously, I feel like if they're playing this three at the back system, they'll need more centre backs. And Malang Sarr is a free agent in real life at the time of recording this, and I feel like he'd fit Dortmund very well. Obviously, they got Zagadou, but he's not really fast enough to play on the left hand side of a back five or back three. Hummels is getting on a bit, even though he's still world class, and you never know if Akanji's going to be there or not. So bringing in a left footer who's fast and very defensive minded, who's not going to cost the most, who's coming in for rotation purposes, it's a bit of a no-brainer. It's a very Dortmund-esque signing, if you ask me. Picking up players for cheap, selling them on for a lot of profit. I know a lot of Premier League clubs are interested, so you can't really go wrong. Obviously, with Götze going and Sancho gonna go, you're gonna need some more squad depth. They only have Haaland, who plays up front, sometimes Marco Reus, but Haaland is the striker, but that's the only person they got. And you got Emmanuel Dennis here. Obviously, he had a very good season in the Champions League. Probably time for him to step away from Belgium, and I feel like a step to the Bundesliga is the right direction. Can play all across the front line. He's fast, good finishing. He's composed. He's got good work rate. It's just a very smart and shrewd signing. It's a bit like the Maximilian Philipp from a few years ago. Just the man who's just gonna be the workhorse in the team, not get the plaudits when he comes off the bench, but he's going to be there and he's going to be an important player to the team. He obviously done work against Real Madrid, helped beat him I think once or drew against him. He was just a nemesis for him. And as you've seen there, Rashica is going to be my Jason Sancho replacement. He's the man on the thumbnail. He's electric in the Bundesliga. He's fantastic. I don't think Dortmund should go for Memphis Depay. He doesn't suit what they want. I feel like Rashica is the guy they need. He's fast, he's technical, he's good at shooting, good passer, creative. He's basically a more direct version of Jadon Sancho, which is I think what they need, which they might have lacked a few times this season. So yeah, just putting Dennis in the team now. You got Reina, who I believe should go out on loan because he's really not good enough yet. And you can see Sarr on the bench. And here's the big one. Ironically, Man United come in for Jadon Sancho. It was a bit of a tough negotiation with the man who looks nothing like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Looks more like Ronald Koeman. But obviously you can see he's worth, they've offered 81 million, and I'm like, well, no, because that's just not really. It's 110 million. I thought I'll push the boat out. They didn't like it. Came back with the same offer. I said, look, give me 100 and you can have him, which is, I think, what he's worth in real life, to be honest. And so, obviously, put it in, and they accept. And obviously, he goes. He does go. I'll say that he goes. Also, Marcel Smeltzer, I don't know if you've seen it, but Marcel Smeltzer left the club. He also left on a free in real life. So I felt like it was only fit in just to get rid of him. I think we got about 2 million for him. It wasn't much. Thank you to the legends, but it is what it is. Juve came with an offer as well for Sancho, but he was already on the way to Manchester. He already wanted it. And I think the next day he was already a Man United player, to be honest. Obviously, Rashica, he's going to slot into that left or right, depending on where I want to put Marco Reus. Torgan Hazard's just going to play right mid still. There's no point to change him. He's very good, very hard working. It's just the right thing to do. Obviously, Rashica's got a buyout clause, but I felt a bit of tough negotiation, you can get him for at least a little bit cheaper, which could ultimately put someone else available to Dortmund. Also, we got 170 million or whatever it is, 150 million. It's not the end of the world if we had to pay his release clause, but he's 23 at 80 rated. Centre forward is really a winger. Obviously, he plays up front for Werder Bremen because they have no one up front. Sargent's not the best, so it's only right that we slot him in on the right hand side. You'll probably be rotating with Dennis on that side. When he's tired, Dennis will come in, but Dennis isn't a bad replacement. He's only 3 ratings lower anyway. Plus, Rashica is going to develop a lot in this team. Everyone that goes to Dortmund is going to develop tremendously. It just seems to be the way it happens. Obviously, you got Julian Brandt on the bench, and he was a dilemma whether do I put Brandt in or Chan. But I felt like at the start of the season we used some defensive stability. Speaking of defensive stability, Nicholas Stark. I wanted Jeremiah St. Just, but obviously he apparently just signed for Mainz in this season, which I don't think is true. But if I was doing this on FIFA 21, I'd be signing St. Just because he had a very good season for Mainz. But Nicholas Stark, he's not getting into in real life in Berlin's team. He's quite a highly touted player. He's very good on the ball, very Hummels-esque to be honest. Obviously not as good, not as strong, but same sort of style, if you understand. Obviously, we brought Toprak on loan. The guys fell off a cliff in terms of stats and ability. So I thought, try and swap him with a bit of cash for Nick Stark. Good rotation option. If anything, I think Stark's on less money than Toprak, which means it's a pretty good bit of business, if you ask me. He's also about 6 years younger than Toprak, which to me makes more sense. He's going to be a rotation. And this is my backup to Marco Reus as well. I don't want to pronounce his name, but I'll give it a go for you when I see it. It is Luca Waldschmidt. I hope that was right. Yeah, he's obviously good. He's just a left footer. They can play off the left, cut across the ball. Not going to cost that much. I believe he had a decent season for Freiburg in real life. It may be time for him to do the step up. He's valued at a lot. He's not the lowest rated player in the world. He's good squad depth, which is what Dortmund need more than anything, is squad depth. Obviously, they've let a few players go. He's my Mario Götze replacement, really. Dennis is just a backup. Dennis is basically my Paco Alcacer replacement, which they never brought in January. So it seems logical just to add a few more numbers to that attack, because the way Dortmund plays, very high pressing, very high intense, they're bound to get injuries. You can see in midway through the season, third, of course, with 40 points, 2 points off Leipzig. Bayern are just undefeated at the minute. They're literally invincible, 17 for 17. But I feel like we can catch Leipzig. We're not far off. Only lost 1 game. It's the draws that have killed us. But I felt like we needed a bit of cover at the right. I'm not a fan of Wolf. I just don't think he's going to develop. He's just a bit of a stale person in the club. So we're bringing in Marco Richter from Augsburg, who impressed. Got good potential. He's young. He's just a good all-round wide midfielder. I'm going to call him the German Marco Brighton. That might be offensive to him, but for now that's what he's going as. He's not going to cost much either. It's relatively risk-free, and hopefully we can sell him on for profit in a few years, or he takes over Torgan Hazard in a few years. Not going to cost much on wages. It's a big step up for him, but as a rotation player, I think it'll be good. And on the left-hand side, Schultz was just awful. Not a fan of him. I think in real life he's probably on the chopping block as well. And Dwight McNeil. Now this is a weird one. I believe Dwight McNeil has potential to be a very good left back in the future. He's strong, he's fast, he's tall, he's good in the tackle. He's a bit of a boss. He's just a monster. Obviously he's a Burnley player, so he has to be strong. And I believe that he could be a very Dortmund-esque sign. Obviously he's English, which Dortmund doesn't have this relationship with English players. Obviously Jude Bellingham's gone there now. For some reason he's still not in the game, which is very unfortunate. But I want to bring that English connection to Dortmund, because I feel like he could develop into a world beater. I know Juventus are interested. I think United were at one point. He's got a lot of pros and not a lot of cons. Apart from he's developed slightly at Burnley, which may hinder him in the future. But he done very well when he came in. Obviously, you can see at the end of the season, we dropped off massively, which I think is the system. We were 8 points behind Leipzig at the end, which wasn't fantastic. In the cup, we lost to Bayern in the semis, which is what it is to most teams that play Bayern these days. And in the Champions League, it wasn't great. We got knocked out in the group with 7 points. We got hammered by Barca, lost to Inter, and then we went into the Europa League, as you do. And I believe we lost to Lazio. Yeah, we lost to Lazio 4-3. So it wasn't the best season in terms of personnel, but when you lose one of your best players, if not your best player, your most potential player, it's going to be hard to replace him with just that one player. Hopefully though, they'll develop for next season, which is the plan of Dortmund, as Bayern are surging at the minute. So you just wanting to build your team slowly, so that in 2 or 3 years, when Bayern are starting to age and Muller's gone and Lewandowski's lost it and Neuer's gone, you're there just to surge into that gap. With Leipzig always selling their best players, there's a very big possibility that could happen. Anyway, please suggest some more teams for me to do. Any players you want me to see me do at their new clubs. And it's been Jamie. Please like, subscribe and comment if you're new. Many thanks for watching. Goodbye.